Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
Welcome to Coruzant Technologies, home of the Digital Executive Podcast.
Welcome to the Digital Executive. Today's guest is Ken Fine. Ken Fine is the Chief Executive Officer at Heap. In his 20-plus year career, Ken has shepherded multiple companies through IPO and acquisition, scaled teams from $0 to $250 million in revenue, and advised over a wide range of verticals. Currently leading the next generation of digital analytics at Heap, Ken is passionate about creating great customer experiences, building inspired teams, and developing a vibrant culture that emphasizes accountability and empathy. Well, good afternoon, Ken. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Brian. Great to be here.
That's awesome. And thanks for jumping on and taking the time. And thank you for being on the show. This is awesome. We get to jump in and talk a little bit more about you, your background, your career, and what you're doing as far as technology. So, Ken, you've got quite the career as an executive, investor, advisor, and now you're the CEO of Heap. Could you share with our audience the secret to your career growth and what inspires you?
You bet, Brian. So I want to do the Cliff Notes version of my career and then hit those key points. So I started my career as a naval officer and worked in a unique role there, a technical role as an engineer and a physicist. Did that for about 5 years, then came out to California, went to business school, and then spent the next 20 plus years primarily as an operator in high growth B2B SaaS disruptive businesses, starting in some cases at a very early stage, in other cases at the growth stage. In terms of what's inspired and motivated me, it's really, it might sound a bit trite, but it's doing my best work. So becoming what I think of as the best possible version of myself. So in today's world, that's often referred to as a growth mindset. And that's manifested in three ways. One, on the leadership side, the leaders I've been most impressed with over my career are those that balance empathy with accountability. So they hold people accountable, but they're also good, supportive human beings with their teammates. That's piece one. Piece two, on the skill side, since I've been in technology for my entire career, it's been developing a combination of product depth. So really understand the products that you work with, regardless of what your role is. Customer intimacy, like really get inside the brain of your customer, the heart, the soul of your customer. And then communication, the ability to communicate to your teammates, to your audience, whether that's verbal, written, or as a designer. And then last for me has been focus. So I've focused on growth stage, B2B SaaS, and really understanding and developing pattern recognition for those businesses and business models. So that's been kind of the tapestry that I've woven together over the last now 30 years.
That's awesome. And you did that well, by the way. You put that all together, and it gave us kind of a summary, but a snapshot of your career, and you've done some amazing things. So thank you for sharing that. So let's talk a little bit about this pandemic, and hopefully it's over soon and it's now starting to lift and people are trying to get back to some sort of normalcy. But what's your plans for growth with your company going forward? And will it be any different than the last 15 months?
Yeah, it's a good question. So we are leaning into very aggressive growth.
Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
In the case of our business, which is all about helping our customers improve the digital experiences of their customers, the pandemic has started to turn into a bit of a tailwind for us, creating more demand for what we do. But in terms of looking forward, how the next year or two may be different from the last 12 to 15 months. It's be different in a few ways in terms of how we're driving growth. One is we're basically integrating together sales-led growth with product-led growth with partner-enabled leverage. So historically, we've been primarily focused on classic sales-led growth. There, we're trying to do what we have been doing, but do it better. And by sales-led, I think the gold standard there would be, for those who want to read about this, John McMahon and PTC and classic value-based selling. We're trying to do that very, very well. And we're adding to that product-led growth, where we're using access to Heap in a low-friction, free trial mechanism to add more to our pipeline and add more to the customer experience. And then third, working closely with both technology partners and with solution partners to create greater leverage for our distribution. So those are the big changes, and the goal is decrease friction, increase leverage, and thereby increase growth.
I love that. Very succinct on how you explain that. And I think it sounds good. I'm sure it looks good on paper as well, but I appreciate the share on that. And I'm glad that you guys have a plan in place going forward, because I know the last year and a half has been pretty challenging for a lot of businesses. So Ken, you're obviously leveraging some new and emerging technologies within your tech stack. Is there anything you might be able to share with us today?
Sure. I'd be happy to talk about some of the technology investments and innovation that we've been driving. So again, what Heap does is we help our customers understand and improve the digital journeys of their customers. So a big part of our platform relates to how we capture data and how we capture those digital journeys. And we have developed technologies there which are leading edge in that space, often referred to now in the industry as auto capture, meaning automatically capturing the entire digital journey. And that's where Heap started. So that was our original technical foundation and original set of technical investments. Where we're going now is we spent the last year plus aggressively and carefully investing in a data science layer and a set of data science technologies that have been specifically built from the ground up to create value from that massive data set that we've been capturing on behalf of our customers, so that we can proactively highlight the journeys that matter and the insights that matter within that data set to our customers. So to put this simply for your listeners, what Heap will do in the future, and the future is coming very soon, is we will evaluate every digital journey of every user ever that's been since Heap was installed, and we'll tell our customers where to look. Basically, where are the key friction points that you should be investigating? Where are the key success paths that you should be leveraging? And that will be completely unique within this space.
That's awesome. Having that type of data or feedback for your customer is absolutely.
Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
It's crucial, obviously, but that really helps solidify your relationship with the customer as well. So, Ken, I appreciate the share on that. But moving into our last question here, is there something you might be able to share from your career experience that would be helpful for those looking to grow their career in tech or entrepreneurship?
It's a good question. A couple things come to mind in terms of what served me, and if I were speaking to an entrepreneur or just someone who's building a career in technology, particularly in growth stage. Those are one is focus, and I'll explain what I mean by focus. And the second is actually a quote that comes to mind from a professor that I had in business school. And on our last day of class, he said, "Be driven but not rushed." And by that he meant be determined, be driven, but you don't have to get everything done and be the next, be the next Bill Gates or or Steve Jobs, next week, next month, or even next year. So be driven but not rushed. And for me, that's manifested in the following way. One is pick a particular stage of growth. The types of things you'll learn and the types of skills you need at the very early stage, the founding stage, is largely around pattern recognition and creating a blueprint for your business and finding initial product market fit. That's a very different skill set than the next stage where you're starting to grow and scale that blueprint. And that's very different from when you are at scale. So pick a stage that you want to become an expert in. The second, I call it pick a major and a minor. And by major and a minor, what's the functional area that you want to be a black belt in? Do you want to be world-class in product management, marketing, sales? Get very good at something where you give yourself the opportunity to go very deep and really learn it, but then also have a minor or minors. So in my case, I picked the growth stage as my stage. I picked product as my major. So I've led product and started as a product manager, but then I've also led customer success. I've led marketing. I've led other functions. So I've developed those minors. So I get the bigger picture, but I'm very deep in that one area. And then last, I do believe that to be truly effective as a technology leader, particularly if you're thinking about at the CEO level or just the founder level, you want to combine, and I mentioned this at the get-go, product depth, like really understand your product and technology, customer intimacy, really get out there, talk to customers, inhale customer data, understand that full picture, and communication. How do you communicate the union of those two things, whether that's to your team verbally in writing, or also, and importantly, as a designer, how do you actually design the interface that brings product and customers together?
Thank you for sharing that. And again, Ken, as we kind of stepped through our conversation today, again, you've got something that is very succinct, very simple, and you share it very eloquently. So our audience will certainly appreciate it, because I know I appreciated it. And Ken, thank you again. I just want to let you know that it's been a pleasure having you on today, and I look forward to speaking with you real soon.
Stripe is the go-to choice for AI companies, from early-stage startups to scaled enterprises. 78% of the leading AI companies use Stripe to go to market quickly and scale globally. That includes pioneers like NVIDIA, OpenAI, and Perplexity. Stripe has developed cutting-edge tools to improve everything from fraud detection to checkout optimization. Whether you're aiming for incremental gains or planning for enterprise transformation, see how Stripe can help at stripe.com.
Likewise, Brian. Thanks for inviting me today. I enjoyed it.
Bye for now.
You know that feeling when someone shows up for you just when you need it most? Yeah, we all need that. That's what Uber's all about. Not just a ride or dinner at your door. It's how Uber helps you show up for the moments that matter. Because showing up can turn a tough day around or make a good one even better. Whatever it is, big or small, Uber is on the way, so you can be on yours. Uber, on our way.